said, my name is Ward Grover. I'm running for County Commissioner for District 3. That's here in the Horseshoe Bend area. And it's been changed a little bit. It goes through, includes Wilderness Ranch now over South Idaho City because of the redistricting, the change in population. Well, people are asking me, okay, at your advanced age, why did you decide to run for political office? Well, I see our governments at all levels heading down the wrong path. We need to get things turned around. There's a gentleman by the name of John Gondolo who started an organization called Understanding the Threat, and I followed him for quite a while. And not too long ago he said something that really stuck with me. We need to take back our country, and to do that we need to take back one county at a time. So I'm running for county commissioner to help do that. And I'm not going to bore you with my background. I've got literature over there. Shows you, I'm from Wyoming. I graduated from high school in Wyoming and went on to the university, got a degree in secondary education. Never taught because I went right to the Air Force and spent 26 years in the Air Force, 6 on active and 20 in the reserve. And when I got off active duty, unfortunately, I couldn't afford to be a teacher. So that's one thing we have to make sure we work on, and I know that's a topic that's near and dear to a lot of people. Make sure our teachers are paid, but we also need to make sure that they're teaching the right things. I've been married to a young lady over there registering, married for 38 years. We have 3 daughters and 6 grandkids. What else can I tell you? I went on, got a master's degree. I have an MBA from Keller Graduate School of Management. I graduated with honors in that. And I've had a variety of civilian occupations, mostly in sales management, and operations management, in a variety of industries. And again, I'm not going to bore you on all those, but if you want to know more about me, please feel free to contact me. I want to talk about issues that are of concern to me here in the county. We need a better EMS service. I'm not saying we don't need volunteers, because in a rural county like this, volunteers will always be needed. But we need to do something that I've talked to a couple of other commissioners about, and that is have a county-wide EMS service. And that is feasible. People say, well, I don't want the taxes to increase. There are ways to avoid that. There are grants available. We're paying taxes and not getting what we consider a good EMS service. Property taxes. Property taxes are a big bugaboo. And I hope you bring that up to some of the people that are here tonight on the state level, because a lot of people think, well, it's county setting the property taxes. It's not. The state sets the rules on property taxes. Now the county can control or help control that a little bit by watching the budget, setting a good budget, an efficient budget, and sticking with it. But something you all need to do is get out your property tax statements and look on there. I know on mine, I looked at it yesterday, there are 7 taxing agencies for my property here at Horseshoe Bend. When the assessor sends out the notice, the property taxes are going to be coming out, they put on there the date that all those agencies will be having their budget meeting. You need to attend and need to talk to those people about staying within their budgets and setting realistic budgets again. Yes, I agree, something needs to be done about property taxes, but at the same time, we've got to remember, we need money to run the county. And right now, that's basically the main way we get it. I'm very happy to report that the county commissioners are working on something that will help. They are looking to hire a full-time grant writer. And that is something that we need. In the past, each agency or department head was responsible for doing their own grant writing. Well, I don't know about you, but if you're in charge of roads and bridges, do you really have time to find all the grants and write them up? We need somebody that knows how to do that professionally. Roads, I mentioned roads. That's always going to be a contention in a rural county. Again, it takes money to fix it. We have a lot of roads that could use maintenance. We need to look at the best way to do that. And again, grants are important. I know last year there was a grant that was available through the Interior Department that could have been used to help on our roads. We did not apply. I called Congressman Russ Fulcher, who I know personally, and by talking to his organization, the Interior Department reopened that grant. I don't believe we applied even yet, or at that time, but that's the type of stuff we need to do. We need to try and find the money from any source we can. Growth. I think you all know our county is growing. I came up from through Boise today on my way back to Idaho City. I went over there for a commissioners meeting, and you can see where they're laid out the grids for the first homes at Avamore that are going to be in Boise County, and they're going to come right up to the top of the hill. We've got a subdivision being planned here in Horseshoe Bend that's going to bring in about 140, 150 homes and more people. And all you have to do is ride around the county and look at all the subdivisions and growth that's happening everywhere. My contention is we need to be planning for that growth, not just let it happen. We need to look at things like more impact fees. What can we get the developers to do? What in the way of infrastructure can we ask them to do? Instead of us, the citizens, having to pay for all that. I should put on my glasses. Hate to admit it. Honesty and transparency. We need that at all levels of government. You're probably thinking right now of some examples at state and federal level. We have problems here at the local level in our county. We have a city, you can't even find their ordinances. We're checking, we're pretty sure they're not following their ordinances. There's a school district in Boise County. They didn't have elections for years. They kept appointing the same people. That's not right. They're supposed to have elections. And we have some county officials that are abusing their power. We need to make sure that they're held accountable. Voting integrity. One person you need to listen to tonight very carefully is Dorothy Moon. She's running for Secretary of State, and she's responsible for voting integrity for the state. Our county clerk is responsible for that in the county. And I have found out recently there were some problems in the last election that was not necessarily the case. So we need to hold these people accountable when they get into office. We need no more mandates. That includes no more gun controls. I'm the one that wrote the resolution to ban mask and vaccine mandates in Boise County. We got passed at the Central Committee last December, and I was asked to present it to the county commissioners at their first meeting this year, which I did. They wanted some time to think about it, rightfully so. I went back a week later, January 11th, and it passed unanimously. We need to do more of that to fight tyranny and unresponsible leadership. We need to make sure our officials adhere to the U.S. and Idaho Constitution and that they follow their oath of office. We need to make sure that illegal immigrants are stopped from coming into our county, our state, and our country, and we need to do a much better job of vetting all refugees. Our current commissioner from District 3 has never been elected. He was appointed. Last year he missed 15% of the weekly meetings. That's a fact. You can look at it, look it up on the meeting information on their website. Also, the Central Republican Committee censured him because he was indicating that he was going to vote in favor of mask and vaccine mandates at the Central District Health Board, of which he is the member from Boise County. We don't need that. We need someone that takes old-fashioned values like the Constitution and Christianity, following the Bible, and does those things. That's why I'm running for county commissioner, and that's why I would appreciate your vote. I've got literature back here. I've got a donation jar. You can get a nice hat for a donation of $20 or more, and I'd be happy to stick around and answer any questions now or after the meeting. Thank you very much. Are there any questions at this time?
I don't have a question, Warren, but I have a statement. Thank you for your military service and your continued service to our country. Lieutenant Colonel.
Thank you very much. Are we able to table that there?
I I used to be on the Boise County Planning and Zoning Commission, and the biggest thing that I saw as a handicap for people getting information is that none of the county meetings are live streamed, and nobody of the elected officials or appointed officials is allowed or able to attend these meetings remotely via Zoom, where they would have an opportunity to attend if they're otherwise incapacitated. For example, if they're running a headache or a fever, they could still attend the meeting. So my question would be, if you are elected, what steps would you take to bring county commissioner meetings and planning and zoning meetings live streamed to the public?
Well, actually, I was talking about that at the commissioners meeting today, and they do have some plans they're working on. Is talking to Alex Gross, who's the head of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and he understands that, and I would push and work to make sure that gets done. We had to push and work to get it done here in the city of Horseshoe Bend, and it's still not perfect. But you're right, Zoom is an excellent way of getting things out there. I attend a lot of Zoom meetings with different organizations I'm in, so I appreciate your input, and I'll certainly work on that.
Follow-up maybe, it's my understanding that the Miners Exchange, where the commissioners' meetings are held, is a historical building, and it's next to impossible to get electronic improvements done to where meetings from there could be live streamed. Would you support holding county commissioners' meetings perhaps in the public safety building that has all the equipment in there already?
They don't want us there.
I'm sorry, what was that, Gene?
They don't want us there. They have major plumbing problems.
Right, of the
Yeah.
public safety. I guess I
But at
would
least it could
address
be a
this.
temporary fix.
We have one of our county commissioners with us tonight, well, actually two of them. Ted, would you like to answer that any?
We're actually working on that. We got a new IT guy for the county. Doing a good job setting that up, and we're getting ready. We went today, we were on virtual. But we had to vote on the tower. Now that it's over, we had, anybody interested? Two of the commissioners voted to put that tower in against 35 residents' wishes. I voted against it. And I'll talk, anybody want to know why or what's going on, I'll tell you on the sidebar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I appreciate it very much, and I'll introduce our next speaker.